It's coffee time.
Good morning, guys. It is Thursday, so we are officially starting week 2 of the Evilathon. So last night we had our first reading sprints. I was joined by Shelly and by Lizzie, and it was a lot of fun. I laughed a lot and I was able to read a lot as well. So it was quite successful. So thanks to anybody that joined us, and if you didn't have time, we're still gonna have sprints every Wednesday the next couple of weeks, so you can join us. So during the sprints, I actually finished a whole book, started and finished it, but it's just because it was a short one, okay? And it was Halloween Party by R.L. Stine. This is part of the Fear Street series, and it is a book that I was meant to read in October for Halloween, but I didn't get to it, so I knew that I needed to read it during November, and I still really loved it. And even though it's not Halloween anymore, I mean, it's still in my heart and in this house but not officially if you check the calendar. But I really had a blast. So of course we are in Shadyside, and we are following a couple of kids that are going to high school, and there is this Halloween party that is going to take place in a house that it's supposed to be haunted, that it is behind a cemetery, and it's of course on Fear Street. So the kids are a little bit concerned about this party because it seems only specific people are being invited, and these kids don't even really have a relationship with each other, so they're questioning why exactly they are getting this invitation. So it's a lot of fun. It has everything that R.L. Stine normally does in his books. It has pranks, it has a couple of deaths, it has a mystery. It was a lot of fun, a quick read, and definitely recommend it to you guys if you're looking for Halloween books for next year as well. And I also started reading Daphne by Josh Malerman. That so far has been a lot of fun. It is about, again, a high school, and we have the basketball team that makes a sleepover party before a big game, and they start to tell each other scary stories, and one of the kids decides to tell the story of Daphne. Daphne used to live in that town, but she died and she kind of is seeking for revenge. So if you think about her, then basically she comes for you, she hunts you. So the trick is just not to think about Daphne. But of course, if you hear about a legend or somebody that died, you keep thinking about it, especially if they tell you to not think about it. So we follow some of the girls from the basketball team as they keep thinking about Daphne, and they're scared because they know that she might come for them. And so far I'm really enjoying it because I love this kind of tale about Daphne, that it's supposed to be somebody that everybody in town knows about, but somehow these kids from the basketball team never heard of her until that night, and now they're kind of obsessed about it and they cannot stop thinking about it. And some of the girls talks about her anxiety about it. So I feel like it's creating a lot of tension and it's making a good job with that. So far, really enjoying it. And now, since my birds are really chatty and I also have to leave, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm skipping the gym today. It's a rest day, but I want to make it an active rest day. So I'm just gonna go for a long walk and then come back and sadly go back to work because I still have a lot to do. Good morning, guys. So I woke up not long ago. I woke up at 7 so that I could read. So this is my morning face. I haven't done my hair. This is reality. So, and I have news for you. I have just found out that there is going to be a new book on the You series. It's coming out April 2023. So I'm gonna have to read another book about Joe. But that's okay. I'm just whispering a little bit because my boyfriend is still sleeping. So basically, I'm catching up with Daphne by George Malamet, and I'm really enjoying it. And I have seen that Goodreads doesn't have the best reviews, but I am finding things that are exciting to me as a reader because they're a little bit new. So basically, there is a lot of talk, of course, about this basketball team, but I like that the way that they have to ask questions, kind of, you know, when you ask questions in a Ouija board, or when you ask questions like using tarot or something like that, but they're using the basketball hoop and throwing the ball to get their answers, like the yes or no answers. And I thought that was really cool that it was integrated to the story because it's a basketball team. So there's a lot of things that I'm really enjoying to see. We have now some detectives investigating the case, and I really like one of the main characters, Kit, because she has anxiety, and I think it's really well represented. As somebody like myself that I do have anxiety often, I stress a lot about things really quickly. And I feel like the way she writes her diary and the way that she talks about it, and the way how she keeps thinking about Daphne, and when Daphne's coming for her, like I could totally relate because that could be me obsessing about something. So the way she keeps writing about it, and the way that she keeps thinking about it, obsessing about it, asking herself all the time, when is Daphne coming for her, I totally love that, and I think it builds up the tension a little bit. So far really enjoying this new George Malamet book. Good morning, guys. It is already Sunday. So yesterday I was able to vlog a little bit in the morning while I was catching up with my reading, and then the day got busy and I was not able to vlog anymore. But Saturday and Sunday I woke up early on purpose to try to catch up with my reading, and so far it has been quite successful. I did manage to finish yesterday Daphne by George Malamet, and I have kind of mixed feelings about it because I really enjoyed the whole story, but when I got towards the end I had a weird feeling because I saw there were not many pages left, and I didn't feel like it was gonna give me the resolution that I wanted. And I feel like that was the turning point for me from really enjoying it to I don't know anymore. At the end of the day, I really enjoy the characters and the story, and I appreciated a lot of things that were kind of unique about the way that they presented this legend. So I really enjoyed a lot of things about this book, and I would still encourage people to give it a go. However, I am a little bit confused about the ending, and I still feel like I need to process a little bit. But all in all, I enjoyed it, and it was not too long. So I feel like if you love stories about local legends and stuff like that, you might have a good time with it. So right now I have two books that I'm currently reading. One is The Moth Diaries, and the other one is The Time Watchers. So they're downstairs because I was reading there this morning, and so far I'm really enjoying both of them. The Moth Diaries is about a school for girls and one of the roommates that starts to consider the possibility that one of the girls might be a vampire because she's really different from the rest. So far it's quite slow, and I'm reading it slowly. It is presented as a diary, but I have to say, when you're reading it, it doesn't feel like it's a legit diary. The way it's written, it feels like it's a book. So that's my only criticism, I guess, so far. And The Time Watchers is a middle grade, a spooky one for Halloween season, because it starts with a Halloween sleepover and 3 friends celebrating Halloween night. And so far it's quite entertaining. One of the 3 friends has disappeared overnight, and the other 2 need to figure out what happened to their friend. So far I'm having a blast with that one. So that has been my progress so far. Today's Sunday. I still have some work to catch up with and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be able to read a little bit more later. And yeah, go for a walk, you know, move my body a little bit. Same as always, I feel like I repeat myself in these vlogs, but honestly my days are kind of pretty much the same thing, unless I do a special activity, you know, going to the movies, going to a fun park or stuff like that. Most of the time my days are pretty much the same. Good morning, guys. I am here on a Monday morning to give you an update on my reading. So Mondays are crazy in my life because there's always a lot of emails from work that come over the weekend and stuff like that. Excuse you, my cat needs a hug. Honey, what's happening? So anyways, I'm always working a lot on Mondays, and I also had to go to the store to grab a couple things. So far my morning has been quite busy. Hi, hon. And I don't know if I will be able to read much today, but I'm definitely gonna join the reading sprints tonight so that I can actually get some reading done. And hopefully, you know, finish 2 more books this week. I have been pretty good with the Evilathon so far. At least it's already going better than last month. So I'm here to let you know what I thought about the books, if more views lets me. So basically, I am on page, excuse me, 100 from The Time Watchers by Robbie Miles. And this one I can already recommend you guys for next year for Halloween season because it has all the spooky vibes. So basically, in the story, I think I've mentioned it before, we have 3 best friends that are in a sleepover for Halloween with snacks and, you know, spooky films and stuff like that. And they know about the legend of this Time Watcher who is supposed to kidnap children. And that's one of those scary legends that they always learned, you know, when they were kids. And so this year for Halloween night, when they go to bed and the next morning they wake up, instead of 3 there's only 2. So one of the kids has disappeared and the other 2 friends need to figure out what happened and if this Time Watcher had anything to do with it. And I'm really enjoying it. The kids that are investigating what happened to their missing friend, I'm just trying to be vague so that, you know, you get surprised by things. Now, I really love this investigation and all the adventures they're going, you know, on. And you also follow the kid that disappeared, so you follow the perspective of the 2 friends looking for him and also the lost friend. And even though it is a middle grade, and you can tell by the way it's written, you know, it's very much for kids, I'm still having a blast. And I feel like if you have kids in the house, they're definitely gonna love this one. I mean, I'm only on page 100, but it is also, you know, quite easy to read, fast-paced, and all in all, I'm enjoying the point of view of all 3 characters. The other one that I'm currently reading is The Moth Diaries by Rachel Klein, and I'm in page, hold on, 60 something, I think it was 68. And this one, it is quite interesting. I think it was YA, but it does feel perhaps a little bit more serious than I expected, which is not a bad thing. As I've mentioned before, this is all told as diary entries, but I don't have the feeling that they're really believable the way that they're written. I don't think that's exactly how you would write diary entries, you know, to be fair, but that's still not spoiling the fun for me. So I'm still really very much enjoying it because it is kind of building up the situation quite slowly. We have this girl that it is at a school for girls and she has a roommate, and there's also this other girl that it's always very pale, with blue eyes that seems to be a little bit weird. She never seems to eat. So trigger warning here though for eating disorder, because there is mentioning of not eating and being skinny and things like that. So if that triggers you, maybe skip this one. I know from what I read from the synopsis that one of the girls at the school is supposed to be a vampire, or at least our main character thinks that she might be a vampire. So if you like vampire books, maybe this is one that you would like to put in your TBR. Not too much to say apart from that. It is not really fast-paced, at least for me. I'm taking my time reading this one. I think it's also because the lettering is quite small, but I'm still having a good time. So I feel like I'm gonna keep reading this too on the reading sprints tonight. And I think during the reading sprints I might want to start The Luminous Dead, because I refuse to have another month where I put this on my TBR and then I don't read it. So I need to get to this one today so that I already have started it and there is no going back from that. Because I really want to read this, and it's been such a long time since I read a sci-fi horror that I feel like I have to. So these 3 books I'm gonna be reading during the sprints tonight. Sorry about the light, but it is very sunny here today in the Netherlands, which, you know, I'm embracing it because we don't get so many like sunny days in winter here. Mostly it's just gray and rainy, so I'm getting all the sun that I can. I already went for a walk, you know, while I run my errands today to catch all the vitamin D. So yeah, basically that's what I'm gonna do today. Just work, and then hope to be able to join the reading sprints tonight so that I can get some reading done. That's kind of a pretty much typical Monday for me, just busy, and then at the end of the day see if I can squeeze in a little bit of reading. To go to the gym. So today was another day that I was like, I don't want to go, but we're gonna go. We're gonna get it done. Today I'm training back and biceps and doing a little bit of cardio. I'm trying to incorporate more cardio into my workout because I don't do much cardio, and I think it would benefit also my heart a lot. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And always when I go to the gym, I make myself a bottle of water with BCAAs, which BCAAs basically just give me a little bit of extra flavor to the water, bit of energy maybe, but it's not a but it's not, I just can't, but it's not a pre-workout. I think those would be too much for me and for my heart, considering that I already drink coffee in the morning. So I don't do pre-workouts. I've never tried pre-workouts. I've always had energy of myself, you know, coffee. So yeah, let's do that. I normally just get one of these bottles that I have. This one says stronger than yesterday, which is fair. If you show up to the gym, it's already progress. And I'm currently using these Extend original BCAAs. It's blue raspberry ice, and I'm very sad because I cannot find this flavor anymore, and so far it has been my favorite. So I'm kind of sad that when I run out of this one, I'm not gonna be able to buy the same one again, but this has been my go-to. So I just put a little scooperoo, and then we're gonna go to the gyms. And I feel really uncomfortable recording myself in the gym, also because I go by myself, so I have nobody helping me with that. But we will see if I can sneakily record something. I don't think so, because it's pretty obvious at the gym that I'm going to. It's kind of small, the weightlifting section, so I just feel a little bit weird recording myself. It's not like I'm prepping for like a competition or anything like that. I fill it up with water. We give it a good shake. And we're good to go into my small backpack for the gym. Let's go work out. I'm back from the gym. I'm exhausted. But it was a good working out day. Like I said, I trained back and biceps, and then I did a little bit of cardio. I don't have time for too much cardio, but you know, I use the excuse to, I don't have time, I have to go back home, and I never did any cardio. So I'm trying to slowly build up some cardio, because I feel like also with age it's good to get used to more exercise, like walking or running a little bit, but especially walking. So what I do is incline walking now, to kind of be walking but with a bit more of intensity. So I just do incline walk. Always when you come back home, there is Michelle asking for food and cuddles. Every day she lives basically in our garden. Hello Michelle, good day. But now it's time to shower, have lunch, and keep on working. And today I hope to read from The Luminous Dead. I started it last night doing Amy McCaw's reading sprints, but I started it like in the last sprint, so I was already like done with the world. So I didn't get too far, but it did start pretty good. And I was so excited also to read a sci-fi horror, so that might also influence. But honestly, the beginning is already so interesting. I'll tell you about it later once I read a little bit more, but I was hooked from page 1. Hello you guys, we are ready now with our blankie to read a little bit. Yay! For the first time in like a week, I have time on a weekday to just sit down and read a little bit. Now, I do have other things to do, but I'm prioritizing reading at the moment because I want to catch up with the books that I'm currently reading, especially with The Luminous Dead, that, as I mentioned before, I started last night during the sprint, but I was so tired I could not keep my eyes open, which is a crime because it was so good. The start was on point. So here's the book, and I got this one a long time ago, probably when it came out, because a lot of people were raving about it, and I've been looking for that perfect horror sci-fi, and I was really excited, and then I never picked it up, so I'm glad that I finally did. I only made it to page 10 last night because I was falling asleep. You know, when you're reading a book and you have to keep reading the same page over and over again because your brain has checked out, it's out of the building, see you tomorrow. That was me last night. So basically, I'm gonna kind of nearly restart from the beginning. I'm gonna restart chapter 2, which is just page 8, so that I can get into it again. But so far, I mean, just those first pages, that introduction to the story, love it. Plus you get like little maps of the caves and everything that, you know, our main character is gonna go through. So I'm going to, better said, dive into the book. Excuse me, my mood today, but I am having my last cup of coffee of the day. I normally prepare like a big pot in the morning, and that is what I have for the rest of the day. And now to more interesting things. Let's go to the book. It's already Wednesday, so a week has already passed. Crazy how time flies, especially when you vlog and you're like, how are we again back on a Wednesday? But currently it's 6 p.m. and I have the next reading sprints live on YouTube in 2 hours. So because I had no time to vlog today, I just wanted to give you an update before closing the vlog for the second week of the Evilathon. So the only progress that I have made is with the Luminous Dead since the last time we spoke, and I am currently on page 68 and I am absolutely loving every little bit of it. And from the very beginning I was on board with the story and the characters and how unique everything was. So basically we're following our main character. It is a girl that is trying to get money for her because she really wants to find her mother. So we live in a world where there's this job called cavers. Cavers are people, mostly young, healthy individuals that take really risky jobs to investigate and bring back samples from certain caves and certain spaces where they have to climb, go down, dive into the water, all of those really dangerous things in these tiny caves, sometimes in this like limited space and darkness. And so our main character has decided that because she's not going to be able to do that a lot of times to keep collecting money, she's just going to take one job that it is really risky, but it's also going to give her a lot of money. So when she embarks in this adventure, there are some things that she assumed were going to happen that are not exactly going as she expected. So she expected that she would be backed up by a team, and it's basically just her by herself in this cave, and there's also only just one contact person on Earth, basically on the surface, called M, and they communicate via like a communication system that she has on her suit. So she's wearing also a very specific suit. It is a suit that she had to undergo surgery for because they kind of have changed a little bit her nutrition basically so that she can be for weeks under earth on the caves diving without having to come back to the surface. They have given her nutrition packs that she can eat and also her urine is being converted into water. Yikes. So basically she had to go under surgery so that they could modify a couple of things in her bodily functions, so to say, so that she would be able to wear this suit and just survive on her own for weeks in these caves. And that already super intrigued me and also terrified me because the thought of just undergoing such heavy surgery for a job, it's crazy. But apparently we're also living in a world, I feel like it's a little bit futuristic or oriented towards a more future world, but I'm still not sure about it. I don't have all the information yet, but it sure feels like it, where there is also a lot of poverty. So far I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really enjoying the conversation between the two characters that we have. It's basically just two main characters that we follow. I love their conversations and how they interact with each other, how they both have their own kind of challenges but also kind of demands, and I'm really intrigued to figure out the rest of the story, the background story behind both characters, which I'm hoping I will get. And it does feel claustrophobic, and there's a lot of tension when she is going through the caves and going from station to station. Sometimes things are not exactly as they expected for this expedition, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm also someone that just the fact you know, of somebody going into a really tiny cave or diving so much deep underwater without any kind of assistance, it terrifies me. I could not do that. I could not go into a teeny tiny cave. I would just have a panic attack. So it is also some kind of horror that I can identify with, so it is extra effective, I guess, for me, that feeling of being claustrophobic and stuff. So totally recommend this one. So far we don't know what's gonna happen because I'm still just here. I have a lot to read, but so far I can say I'm sold and I'm loving it, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. And I'm going to be reading that one for the sprints tonight because I really want to keep going and figure out what else is going to happen in the book. So I'm gonna call it a night for this vlog, and I will start the new vlog for week 3 tomorrow. Hope that you enjoyed the vlog, and let me know in the comments, how are you doing on the Evilathon? Have you already finished a couple of books? Let me know down below, and I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time, guys. Bye.